Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 5 of the Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp series. In today's tutorials, we'll be doing 2 projects. The first tutorial will be about how to create a card similar to either one of these cards. In fact, we can just show you the techniques and then you'll be good to go. The technique for the first card is going to be how to use adhesive sheets to cut your dies, to cut your Brilliant Wings dies. And those adhesive sheets are going to be used to create cards such as these ones. You're going to create stickers out of your butterfly dies. The second tutorial will be creating tag treats, which I've been trying to show you for several videos now. We just never got to them because we have so many other projects we're doing which are fun. We'll be creating tag treats similar to these using the fancy tag topper punch. So that will be the second tutorial. So let's just see how far we get. I always like to play it by ear. Now what we're going to do first is I'm just going to take these little dies and a sheet that I've applied, just to do something to kind of get you started, get you in the mood here. I'm going to move my light like that. Move the light back a little. I'm going to show you how to make a sticker real quick, and then we'll talk about applying the adhesive sheet. That'll give you a chance to go grab your Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp Kit, which contains stickers. Sticker adhesive sheets, and I'll talk about where that comes from in the catalog. What I want to do is just something quick and easy. I'm going to take a piece of Rainbow Glimmer Paper, right? I'm going to raise this up because I want to show you how to make the card start to finish too. So I'm just raising this up. This has what's called the adhesive sheet already applied to it. I'm putting a piece of Rainbow Glimmer Paper on my table. I'm going to use the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're just going to make a sticker real quick. So we're going to put plate number 1 down. This is the same as cutting any metal dies, and 2 plate number 2s. This is a good new plate number 2, so I'm going to use it on top. It's a good one. It's not scratched yet. This is my old plate number 2. We're going to get rid of this one for now. It's really scratched. It's a plate number 2, but I have a new plate number 2. Yay, that's not warped yet. Right? It's not warped yet. It's a little bit just from today or from a couple days. So we're going to put a plate 2 down. We're going to put the glimmer paper on top of the plate 2, right, like that. And we're going to put one of the dies down. So let's just get any die that'll fit. Let's see. Maybe that'll fit. This one will fit. Okay, and we're just going to put the top plate on there. Now I just want to show you a couple things about cutting the stickers. Now you want this, although it's really thick, I'm going to go ahead and push it through. This is really a thick sandwich. And sandwich is what we refer to when we're die cutting. Although it's a really thick sandwich, you really want to make sure it's easy to get these little pieces out of your stickers. So what I like to do, and you learn lots of tips and tricks in this techniques course, is I like to just take the whole sandwich, flip the sandwich over. I'm putting this on top. That's plate 1. You could have just rolled it backwards through, like forward once through. You hear that cracking noise? Now it's really tight. And you could roll it backwards through. But I just found that this really got the little pieces out easier for me when I did it this way. And so what I'm going to do now is just move this off. I'm just putting that on the floor for now. I have a trimmer over here as well. We'll be using the trimmer. Okay, we are going to flip. What happened to him? Here he is. And there is this beautiful, beautiful detailed sticker, right? So it's going to be, we turn it into, we're not going to put it right there because it's too similar to this color here, right? But we could put it on a piece of our designer series paper. But is that cool or what? So what we did is, and then you just like peel the extra little bits out, right? Following, we just created a sticker. Look how easy it is to create a sticker. That's the sticker part in the back there. Now, of course, I like to take tape, painter's tape, and all this stuff and get the extras, get the extras off with painter's tape. And I did bring my little take your pick tool for this tutorial because I think it's easier to get, to get the little bits out with the take your pick tool. But that's what I wanted to start with before we get through the whole process, because is that cool or what? You just made a sticker. Of course, you got to get the little pieces off. That's how easy it is to make a sticker once you have the sticker adhesive sheet on there. And it sticks right onto the card. And then you can make solid stickers. It doesn't matter. This is a sticker too. You just pull the back off. Here, we could do this one. This one will look cute somewhere. Well, I'm not sure where the sentiment's going yet. We better not peel it off yet. You always save your little butterflies, your little stickers for when you know where your sentiment goes, because then you can actually, like here, I put hello beautiful, and then I had room over here to put the extra stickers. So now let me move over make some room on my table. And I'm going to show you the materials you're going to need, and let me tilt my camera a little bit so we can get everything in. Everything in. So what I'm going to do is raise this up. I want you to see how to apply an adhesive sheet to your Rainbow Glimmer paper. And I also want to show you where this is at in the catalog. But that's how easy it is to make a sticker once you have the adhesive sheet applied. Now, we are going to get your, let's see, take out your Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp Kit. Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp Kit came with the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set and the dies if you got the deluxe kit. Okay, if not, you still got all these supplies and some more and extra surprises as well. And you're going to take out some of this. We'll use some Pattern Party for this project, Pattern Party Designer Series paper, but this is what the main gist of this tutorial is. You're going to be needing the Rainbow Glimmer paper and the adhesive sheet. Okay, so you're going to take out your piece of Rainbow Glimmer paper. It's 12 by 6. I gave you a sample of it, and an adhesive sheet. And then you're going to take out, we can either use, doesn't matter, you just need to use coordinating colors. We could take out your Blackberry Bliss cardstock. You could take out we can use Mango Melody for one of the layers, and we can also use Bermuda Bay. I gave you coordinating colors because I give you lots of options. So for this, I've already done one in Bermuda Bay, and I've already done one in both Bermuda Bay and in Blackberry Bliss. So I will explain how I know how these colors coordinate, and so you can see what I mean. See, here's the Blackberry Bliss with the Rainbow Glimmer paper, right? Here's the Bermuda Bay with the Rainbow Glimmer paper. Do you just notice how these coordinate? I'm going to turn these over and just see what I'm talking about. Coordinating colors for Stampin' Up. Right? It just coordinates, so it doesn't matter. Or you could take Mango Melody and do one of the layers, but I just thought Pattern Party has these really cool dots on it. The Pattern Party Designer Series paper I gave you, I thought that would look good. So we have our Rainbow Glimmer paper. It comes, you get a pack of it. I believe it comes in 2 12 by 12 sheets like this, and I divided it up. I gave you each like a sample, so you're going to get it's like ombre. It's an ombre pattern. Many of you, and especially if you're in another country, you can't get the Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp Kit is only available in the US. There's a link in the description. But if you're in another country, you could still get things where the Stampin' Up markets are using whatever catalog you have here. So I know people are watching from other countries, so let me just show you. And I think your page numbers are the same. I'm pretty sure they are the same, no matter what language the catalog's in. So on page 135, there is this paper. It's called Rainbow Glimmer Paper. It's been around since last catalog. It's Rainbow Glimmer Paper. It's $6. Here it is, 2 sheets. So you get 2 12 by 12 sheets. So you're going to get 4 times as much as I gave you. I divided it up. You're going to get 2 12 by 12 sheets. Right? And it's pretty thick. So Rainbow Glimmer Paper. But it's not a sticker. It's not a sticker. It's just a piece of paper. We're going to turn it into a sticker. Now here's what I'm talking about. Coordinating colors. Bermuda Bay. Blackberry Bliss. Dun-dun-dun, right? Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss. Okay. Granny Apple Green. Well, here you go. You can see that right in the paper. Granny Apple Green. You can see the Blackberry Bliss. You can see the Bermuda Bay right there. Mango Melody. There you go. Mango Melody. I tried a piece of that too. I think that would look cute too. Night of Navy and I'm sorry, not at Night of Navy. Sorry, wrong one. That was on the ombre right here. Sorry, it was Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Magenta Madness. It's not Mango Melody, it's Magenta Madness. Here you go, Magenta Madness. This one. And Mango Melody. That's Mango Melody right there. Okay, so Mango Melody. And that's this paper right here, but this particular type of designer series paper it's a type of a little bit of a texture on it, and that style's retired, but you can still get the Brights collection of DSP and use that. Now we need the adhesive sheets. They should be back here as well. I'm just what page those are on. I think they're under the accessories. So you need, well, I gave you the adhesive sheets. You get like 12 in a pack or 10 in a pack. I'm not really sure where they're at in the catalog. Well, We shall find out. They should be right here. Take your pick tool. I'm using the take your pick tool. That's a $10 tool. And here they are, adhesive. This must be them, number 9. Adhesive sheets, $10, and you get 12 sheets for $10. You get, that's on page 153, adhesive sheets, 6 by 12. So they are already 6 by 12, the adhesive sheets. These are a must have for die, anything intricate. I mean, you make things into stickers, it's a lot easier to get the parts off. So we'll make the card in a moment. Put that over there. We need to apply. So what we need to do is clear the deck, because I don't care about the metal part, but be sure to get rid of your cards. These adhesive sheets stick to absolutely everything in sight. So I'm clearing everything off here, making some room. I'm going to go ahead and apply the whole 12 by 12 piece, because why not, right? We're not going to use the whole 12 by 12 piece, but you might as well apply the whole 12 by 12 piece. And oh wait, before I get my hands all sticky and dirty and start sticking things all over my table to everything, I'm just going to say hello to who is here that I see right now. I can see Kathy. Hello, Kathy. And Susan P. from rainy Florida. And Yvonne, well, good. This is a good rainy day activity. And Yvonne, happy Tuesday. I thought it's Wednesday, but I don't know. It could be. I'm confused as to what day it is. Okay, so hello, Linda. And Katie L. from Washington. Cool, and you even have a kit, so that's great. Barbara, I'm glad you're loving. Okay, Barbara's saying she loves the boot camp, and Polly has a kit, and she's saying hello too. And I'll say hello again to the rest of you later. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is the adhesive sheet, right? We're going to, and Susan. Hi, Susan. Now I'll say hi to the rest of you later. So we're going to, you see how there's like lines in it? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to peel this off, but don't peel it all off. Just go ahead and bend it. Do something like that, right? Bend it. See what I'm doing? Otherwise, you're going to get things sticking all over the place. It's double-sided. That's the whole point of an adhesive sheet. This side sticks, and so does the other side of it stick. The other side sticks, but we need the paper to stick to the side. So I'm just bending it down, because I'll never get it straight if I try to apply 12 by 6 inch by 12 inch right away. Now be sure not to pull this up too much, because you'll be pulling both sides of the adhesive off. All right, so I got it the right way. See what I mean? It's still sticky. It's still sticky. That's the whole point. If you pull too hard on this, you'll get the sticky on this part too. So I'm just bending it down. There we go. Something like that. See? It's not sticky, this part. This is just the part I'm going to peel off. Lay it like that. Take your adhesive sheet. I'm going to go ahead and see, the reason I have my scoreboard out, this is my trick. I always have tricks, tips and tricks I teach. I love my Simply Scored. It's my scoreboard. It helps me align everything. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this up in the corner and push down. Dun, dun, dun. See that? Now I don't have to worry about it getting crooked. Okay, so now this is good. This is my adhesive sheet. It's applied. Now I can just turn this over, and I'm not worried about any of the rest. Because once you get part of it, the rest is easy. Pull that all off. Pull all this off and do the rest. That was the only trick, is just getting the beginning started. Right? So turn this over like that. Push that up against the thing and just start pushing. See? Push, push, push like that. And I'm peeling the other two off as I go, because I don't want it to, there you go, I want it to go on smooth. Hallelujah. See that? Done. My trash can's over there. It worked. So you have it. That's how you do it. That's how to apply the adhesive sheet to the Rainbow Glimmer Paper. Use any glimmer paper. Use any paper. Apply this to cardstock. Apply this to anything. Make stickers out of absolutely anything. But we're going to make stickers out of our butterflies. Because this is Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp, right? Now we can do this butterflies, everything. Even the biggest butterfly fits inside of this guy, the mini stamping, cut and emboss machine. So you have a choice. Do you want to cut it the length of the mini cut and emboss machine like this? Or do you want to just cut out each piece according to the butterfly you're cutting? I just like to cut bigger pieces maybe. So I kind of like in the middle somewhere. So I'm kind of thinking you should go like about 3 inches, right? That's what I'm thinking. 3 inches, because then you can always do it this way. That's what I'm thinking. So let me get my trimmer. I am going to change the blade before we do the card, but I wanted to use the dull blade. Always use your dull blade on glimmer paper, okay? So we're going to put this in there. And now I think I can lower my tripod in just a minute. But see, I'm going to put this glimmer paper in my paper trimmer and go 3 inches and just cut along there. Now, glimmer paper makes your blade dull. So I'm going to cut it like that. That way it'll always fit in the machine. Not only will it always fit in the machine, but every butterfly. It can hold any butterfly. Now, it's the biggest butterfly, so they're all going to fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. We'll do the card in a minute. Let's cut out some butterflies, and then we'll do the card. I can actually lower this a little bit and tilt my light. Okay, I don't need as much light now for what I'm showing you, because I really wanted you to see that adhesive sheet. So we're going to go now and we're going to grab the mini. We'll get back to the trimmer part, grab the mini, and we're going to put it up there. And remember how the mini is, right? The mini is it comes like this, just so you know. This is the mini cut and emboss machine. I showed you how in part 1 of my series, I showed you the big cut and emboss machine. Since then, we've been using the mini because I'm traveling, but I do have a big shot here. And I did sort of get plates, but I didn't really get the right plates. Like, you send your husband to get cutting plates and, you sort of get the right, it's sort of working, but anyway, we won't go there. We are going to just put the butterfly. I want this, let's see. What I found about the biggest butterfly is it kind of takes over your whole card, which is fine. But if you're going to do the big butterfly, use 2 small butterflies. So I think I'll just go with the medium butterflies maybe, and the small butterflies, because this one does take over your whole card. Maybe we'll go with we'll do something like this. And what I like to do when I cut them is get them over the ombre, get them to take on a couple colors. So let's see. We'll do these 2. See, something like that. We'll put them like there so they each take on a couple colors. Put them in the middle. So that's plate 1. Let's see, this is plate 2. Right, this is plate, or this is not plate 2. This is plate 2. This is the butterflies face down over the ombre parts. Not too close together, but you want them so that they each catch some different colors, right? You want the butterflies to be shaded, right? So we want them to catch different colors in there. That's the whole point of the Rainbow Glimmer Paper. And then I'm putting the top plate 1 on there. So now I'm going to push that through. Now, when you do this, make sure they're kind of staggered a little bit. Oops, I should have brought some painter's tape in the picture. I have some right over there. So it actually goes through. If I have to go grab the painter's tape, I might have to take my microphone off. Come on, get in there. Okay, it's not going through. The reason I get painter's tape when it's not going through is because everything will slip. So one moment while I grab that painter's tape. That means if I grab the painter's tape, I can manhandle my butterflies better. See, we can actually stick this in there. And I can now do this, and I don't have to worry about them moving all over the place as I try to get my little mini to cooperate with me. So I think you just need to go, like I said, stagger it. Don't try to push, when you try to put your mini through, don't try to push them at the same, don't make your plates align like this, because they won't catch through there. So you need to sort of stagger them, and that's what I was trying to do, but they weren't catching, and I was afraid, wiggling it around, that my butterflies would move. And if your butterflies move, the problem is, if your butterflies, I think what's happening is I have something under my machine. With your butterflies move, be gone, butterfly, then they will, and you try to roll them and you're not watching, then you die cut right through the darn things. Like one overlaps the other and they bend, your dies bend. So never, always use your, okay, let's just get rid of this thing for a second. There we go. I think it's just my whole machine keeps slipping, and that's what's happening here. Okay, we're gonna just turn this around. If you've ever had any trouble with your mini, you're not alone, because I always have to stagger these plates to get them to catch in there. And this is why I prefer the bigger machine, but I didn't want to carry it with me because it weighs so much. What is stuck in there? Okay, so we just are going to try it like that. We never give up. Live, not live, we never give up. Because this has to be done. This is Butterfly Bootcamp. Come on, get in there. It's like, am I missing something? Oh, now the whole bottom plate's coming out. I'm waiting for like one of my team members to say, you don't have one of your plates in there, or like, you're missing something. I don't know what I'm missing, but that's why I did start out with showing you how easy it was with the sticker, and now they're not going through at all. Oh, you know what I could do? I could go grab my Big Shot. Okay, Minnie, do you hear me threatening to go grab my Big Shot? Because I'm going to go get it if you don't cooperate with me. Oh my goodness, gracious me. Oh my goodness, it's not catching through. And it's going, nope. The Big Shot is not like actually quite close by. So we can make the card. I think I have to give this a rest for a second. Oh, look, as soon as I threaten to leave it, there it goes, it cooperates. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna make the card. Because I need to make the treats later, I need time. Okay, good, yay, yay. See how tight that was? Whew, that was tight. Now I'm gonna flip it the whole thing over. I'm flipping the whole thing over because it really has to cut all the way through. If it doesn't cut all the way through, you can flip the whole thing over, you just put it back through the backwards. And if not, it just doesn't cut right. All right, I'm going to put it back through the same way. I have a funny suspicion that nobody's going to be buying this mini machine because it's not cooperating. Really, it's been working up until this point in my whole entire trip. Maybe because I had to cut something for my team, and we cut like 100 something things out. All right. All right, let's just see if it works before I try to cut it again. I think it might be enough. Okay, so I don't need to run it back through again because we got it enough. Okay, so that's what you're going to do is you're going to test it to make sure it came through over there. Now, we're going to pick these all out, but what I want to do is just kind of show you how I pick them out, and then we're going to make the cards. So it got enough of it out. So you can you would usually run it through again if you're having any trouble with it. I'm going to grab my scoreboard, because we're going to make the card. I need this. Put everything back up on here, and we'll pick through them, or I'll show you how to pick through them. What's really nice is nothing gets stuck in your metal die. But what's really a pain is you definitely have to get all these off before you try to put them on your card. So the first thing I do is I try to just get them off with my hands, right? Like that. That's what I try to do first. You know, sticking them to the tape or whatever. Then, after that's just to get the big ones off. Then what I do, and go ahead and we'll put that down. We'll put those up in a second. Then what I do is I take the Take Your Pick tool, which is just awesome, and see how you can get everything off with the Take Your Pick tool. Okay, and so first I bend them. See what I'm doing? Before you use the Take Your Pick tool, I found that this is easier. This is a lot easier. Don't do a die brush if you have a die brush, because a die brush is going to just mess up your whole glimmer paper, right? Yeah, so instead of matching, yeah, I know, Sarah, that's what I was trying to do. So Sarah's saying, yeah, instead of matching these up, stagger them a little. That's exactly what I saw from Stampin' Up! From the company. That's what I was trying to do. Instead of pushing them through like that, I was trying to stagger them, but they weren't catching. But yes, Sarah, you are right. Anyway, that's exactly what I was trying to do. So anyway, so I'm going to get the rest of this later because I'm sick of this little guy right now, personally. And I want to make a card because I want to make sure that I'm trying to get like the card done in 30 minutes or so, right? And then the tag treat done, and I try to get the whole video done in an hour is what I'm trying to do. So what I want to do is clean this up for a second, and just show you how to make the card. We'll get back to picking the little things out of the butterflies. And I'll get back and I'll say hello again to you guys, whoever's here. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and go ahead and get your cardstock out. You know, you have your Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp Kit. Get out your piece of Bermuda Bay, or again, everything, you have options, right? Options, Blackberry Bliss, or even get out a piece of Mango Melody. We can use the Mango Melody for one of the layers or whatever. So I'm just going to show you both ways. So I think I'm going to show you, since I did the other card like this, I'm going to show you this way first. We're going to just make a couple cards. First way I'm going to show you is you're going to take your scoreboard and you're going to turn your paper horizontally. This is the piece of Blackberry Bliss. It is 11 inches across by 8.5. It's a piece of cardstock. We're going to put it on the Simply Scored, and we're going to score it at 5.5. Okay, we're going to score it at 5.5. What that does is make us vertical cards. What do I mean by vertical card? It means that the card will open vertically like this. Vertically. So that's what I want to do. Now I told you that you shouldn't, let's see, and I just had everything here. I showed you shouldn't use the same blade, right, after cutting glimmer paper to cut cardstock. In fact, stick it in a bag if you want, and call this blade your glimmer paper blade, and cut all your glimmer paper. We have new glimmer paper coming out in the holiday catalog, too, some kind of glimmery. There's a couple glimmery papers. I think some's coming back, some new's coming out, and I don't know if they're called glimmer paper. They might be called glitter paper. But we have glimmer paper, glitter paper. The point is, don't use your same blade. Maybe dedicate a blade just to cutting glittery papers, because it makes your blade very dull. So what I'm going to do is right now show you how to change the blade. You're going to take this, and you're going to go right here. You're going to go to this little place. See that little place where there's an opening, a gap, and you're going to get the blade out. It's the only place on the whole thing you can get the blade out. It just comes right out. See? There's a little hole there. It's a little wider. It comes right out. Stick that there, and the arrow's going up. See how the arrow's going up? I don't get rid of my old blades. I guess call me a blade hoarder, because I hoard the old blades because, like I said, I dedicate them to my duller projects. See how the arrow's up? Like that? I'm going to take the new blade I just took out of this very sharp new blade, and I'm going to find that little hole, and I'm going to stick the blade right in there. So now I have a new blade, right? Now we're going to take the Blackberry Bliss piece of cardstock we just cut, or just scored, at 5.5, and we're going to turn it, and we're going to put it in the paper trimmer, and we're going to go to 4.25. 4.25. Can you see that? Well, you can't really see the 4.25, but these are 1/4-inch marks. That's 5, that's 4, right? These are 1/4-inch marks. I'm going to 4.25. It's your standard A2 card. In fact, you learned how to make this in other parts of my boot camp before. And we're going to cut. Okay, now we have our 2 vertical cards. Now, we're not making 4 cards right now. I'm just showing you how you would. We're going to just show you how start to finish. So now we're going to take this piece of Bermuda Bay, and I'll show you how to make cards the other direction. So now you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and you're going to put the 8.5 side across the top of the Simply Scored. And you're going to take your scoring tool, and this time you're going to score it at, let me put these, hold on, I put the paper trimmer somewhere. Okay, we're scoring at 4.25. Okay, 4.25, all along. Notice that? No, we're going to turn this way. Turn the paper trimmer, not turn the paper trimmer. You're going to open up the arm of the paper trimmer, just to make sure everything's straight. You're going to put the paper in here. And this time we're making cards that will open on the side. We're going to go to 5.5. 5.5. Okay, we're going to do that. And we're going to cut. So now we have cards that are both ways. When those of you who are in my In Color Club, you get 4 cards a month in the different in colors, and you know that that's how, now you know how I do them. I do them exactly how I just showed you. I make 2 that are, I gotta pick up all my butterflies. I make 2 that are horizontal and 2 that are vertical. Get your bone folder or spatula, fold your card, put it up against this. See how it was scored down? That's the valley. It's scored down. You lift up that valley and turn it into a mountain. That's the mountain. You now use your bone folder or your spatula, and see, that's the part that's scored down. I fold that the opposite like that. Put it up against the corners of your Simply Scored, and you just burnish the edges. See why I was doing this now? Because I have glittery paper everywhere. That's why I was doing it now. Because once I get those little bits of stickers everywhere, they go everywhere. See, they're already everywhere. And they do this one. So now we have 4 cards made. We're not making 4 cards. We're just going to make 1 card. I already have this piece cut. Okay, who wants me to make a Blackberry Bliss card and who wants me to make a Bermuda Bay card? First person who says a color, I will make that card. So here is the piece of paper we're putting on the card. This is the piece of Pattern Party Designer Series paper. Actually, I have enough to make one of each I could show you. And the reason it's going to matter is it's how we orient our butterflies. That's why it matters. Because okay, Bermuda, thank you. It's Bermuda. Okay, so we're going to put it on the Bermuda Bay. And the reason it matters is like if I'm going to put it like this, the card will open this way. But I tend to, it's really hard to take pictures. This is my personal experience. Let me just go ahead and adhere this. It's very hard to take pictures of a card that opens like this and that stands like that. And so sometimes lately I've just been, even though I make the card this way, I tend to like design it that way, just because it's easier to stand up and take pictures of and share it and everything else. So I'm going to put some adhesive on it. I'm just using the Seal Plus adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that piece of Pattern Party, which is in your packet. One side of the Pattern Party is colored and the other side is black and white. See, so I think it's really hard to take a picture of a card like that from the front, but like when I stand it like that, it's very easy to take a picture of. So lately I've been designing like that, right? That kind of card. And then if I was going to do this card, I would design it like that with it opening this way. Okay, so now we're going to put on the sticker I already had. Let's see. I did have 2 stickers already. We have this one. Let's see. Or we have this one. Well, this one will match the background really well. So we'll use that sticker. We're going to pick out the sticker. That's what we're going to do. Because I have to show you how to get those little things off, right? So again, you're picking off. These are going to get all over the place. You're picking these off while they're still on there. In fact, you can do all this ahead of time and not use your stickers until later, right? You pick out all the little pieces. And of course, you can take your tape and it will help you. You know, if you want, take your painter's tape and try to get some of them out that way. It has to be low-tack tape. High-tack tape will take the glitter right off your darn paper. So once you're left with just, okay, I hope you understand, we're left with just little bits. And that's when you use your take your pick tool. Don't bother taking your take your pick tool until you have just little bits left. Oops, that's not the take your pick tool. This is the take your pick tool. See, now I have little bits left and now I use that to get them out. Okay, don't use a dye brush. You're going to mess up all your glitter. Now you don't have to take them out. You can also push them straight in. Great, you can push them straight in. But I find it's easier to take them out than push them in. Because if you push them in, all you got to do is deal with them at a later time. If you push them out, you can get rid of them and not have to deal with them ever again. But once you push them in, they're going to be stuck on the bottom side and then you're going to be finding yourself using tape to get them off. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful, easy card. I mean, all you do is a few butterflies, slap a sentiment on it, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's so fancy. My mom's like, oh, how'd you do that? I'm like, it's a sticker. She goes, you use stickers? I said, no, I made stickers. Because she thought I just went out and, I guess you could just go out and buy stickers too, but that little piece. All right, so there we go. I think I got everything but that one, but I'm going to get that one later. Oh, there's another one. So now we'll go ahead and peel it off and put it on the card. Okay, this is going to be my focal point one because it has some Bermuda Bay in it, and the background of the card is Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to make this little sticker my focal point, maybe put it somewhere in the middle. Okay, and let's just peel. Here, we can use whatever side we want to peel it off. Whatever side we still attached a little. There we go. Once you catch it, you can use it. So there we go. My adhesive has really gone through there. And voila. Try not to rip it. Oh, there's one. Little bugger. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love this. And this is something like even those of us that have scan and cuts and make stickers all the time, it's very hard. I wouldn't attempt something like this with a machine like that because it just doesn't get you the detail. Metal dyes give you the better detail. Okay, so let's make this our focal point. And since the card is facing this way, I'm going to stick it right there. And now it's somewhere in now it doesn't matter what other colors I use because I'm pulling in that piece of Bermuda Bay. I'm pulling in that color. And you turn it over, rub it. Give it a rub, give it a rub. So by the way, that was 4 1/4. Oh, I think I told you. Did I tell you that this was 4 1/4? These were 4 1/4 I'm not sorry. These were 4 inches by 5 1/4. Sorry. These pieces were 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'll just lay it there so in case I said it wrong, it still makes sense. See, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. That's how big these mattings were in these layers. So of course you're going to do the same thing with a piece of white cardstock for the inside. Yes, and put that in the inside like that. The 5 1/4 by 4, same piece. You could put a sentiment on the inside, but I don't because I'm writing, just something simple on the outside. Hello, beautiful. Thinking of you. Thank you. And then you leave the inside for your message. Like that. Now, what I have recommended for this course, the Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp, is this sentiment here, or this group of sentiments here called Inspired Thoughts. So just so you know how I got from there to here, is I did this one, hello, and we made the little banner just like I showed last week with the scissors. I just cut the little banner with the scissors, and then beautiful, just so you know where that came from, is I used this beautiful from Wishing You All the Beautiful Gifts of Christmas. And I just stamped that. Here's my stamps that I used. Right? And I just cut out the beautiful just with scissors. Like no mystery there. Just so you know where I got that Hello Beautiful from. Okay, so you know how to do this from last week's techniques course. You just take a little piece of white, basic white, which is in your kit, and you stamp it. And I did stamp it in Bermuda Bay because Bermuda Bay is a color there. Oh, this one I stamped in Grand Apple Green. And then I think that one's Bermuda Bay because it matched. Okay, now this is another variation of this kind of card that you just learned the technique for. Okay, we are going to show you this variation. This one I used what's called the Many Messages dies. Okay, the Many Messages dies. And that's where I got the stitched one from, and that's stamped in Bermuda Bay. And this thank you comes from like Well Suited stamp set, a different stamp set. And then You're the Best was stamped in Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, I'm sorry. And this is these are called, oh, I already forgot, the opal rounds. These are called opal rounds. And that's a little stitched rectangle, and that's from the Many Messages. Okay, so lastly, I just want to throw a couple, I did have these already made, mostly. I cut these out earlier. I had no trouble cutting them out earlier with the mini embossing machine, by the way. No trouble whatsoever. So I had a lot more trouble today with the mini machine. You can skip that whole 5 minutes of me struggling. No, I'm kidding. Don't skip it. Just walk away, go get yourself a cup of coffee if you're watching the replay. Don't skip it because then you'll miss the good stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the other two butterflies that go well together. They go well together because they each pull in that same color of Mango Melody. I'm sorry, Mango Melody? Yes, Mango Melody. And what I'm going to do is slap them onto this card and show you. I'm not going to put the sentiment on the card right now because we don't need to do the sentiment again. We did that last week. And because I'm not sure, honestly, what sentiment I'm going to use. But you'll see because I take a picture all the time of my cards when I'm done. And you will see maybe which sentiment I decided to go with on this card. And by the way, if you accidentally pull the back, there is a back layer. This paper has a back layer of sticker paper, but sometimes I pull off this back layer and because it's like a double layer paper. And if you do, just use glue. Don't try to put the layer back on because once these two layers come apart, you can't get the layers back together. So I just use glue. And just notice how I'm trying to do this in real time to show you that this is actually how I do it. But I usually do it when I'm watching TV. I take all these little bits out. And before I try to stick that onto the card, I may go you know, and I may look here, that's what I'm looking for. I just get a little piece of tape and I try to get these little things off my hand using tape, because I don't want them to stick onto the card. Once they, you know, you don't want them to get stuck underneath there in the card. They're very hard to get out once they're on paper, because you might be thinking, just stick this onto the paper and then pull out the little pieces. Oh no, I thought that would be a good idea, but that's not. You got to get the little pieces out before you stick this down to your paper. So there's your beautiful ombre sticker made with the Rainbow Glimmer Paper. And I'm going to put that one right. That one was my focal, so I'm going to put that one facing that way. Not touching that one though. Just kind of facing up like that. Okay, and then we're going to take the last one, and now that's where I'm going to put my sentiment. Oh, and by the way, turn it over. And put your, I'm going to put my sentiment in whatever gap you have, you know. And I have some other sentiments in my bucket of crafty goodness here that I might be able to use. Let's put this one. Always save your last one, save your last butterfly, and save your little extra butterflies until you decide where you are putting your sentiment. Let's see what's in my, I have some already made, but it's okay, we'll just see. So say you were going to put, like for example, you're going to put that there, which will look really good. I think that would look good. See, you want to kind of put that as your placeholder, right? Placeholder before you, my hello would be okay too on that one. Let's just go with the thank you so much, because it's already made. We can use maybe the hello for the other treat we're doing. See, now that I know where that's going to go, maybe right up there. See, now I can stick this little guy right there. Maybe right there, because he doesn't. And now I can take my extra butterflies. Well, so much for not completing the card. I couldn't help myself, guys. I had to complete the card. I didn't mean to because of the time, but you know what? Sometimes you just can't help yourself. Crafter's gonna craft. You know, you sometimes just go, oh, it's screaming, complete me, complete me. And then I'm just using what I'm doing now is putting on these extra little butterflies. Always use an odd number of your sentiment. So if you're going to use like 3 butterflies, that's fine. Then I'm doing 2 of these. I wouldn't do 3 of these too, because then I would have an odd number of 6 on my card. So that's an odd number, that's 5. I think he shouldn't go that way. That's okay. He's okay going that way. Thank you so much. And you can still stick a beautiful down there if you wanted to. I would probably take 3 opal rounds and add them to this card. Pop up this sentiment with dimensionals if you want. Or you can just use rolling adhesive for that. I'm just rubbing it, giving it a good rub. And that's what you could do. You could pop those up with dimensionals. But we won't attach it. So there you go. There you have it. Now let's move on to the tag treat project. There you have it. That's how you use your adhesive sheets. And in the end, you have this card we just made live. We have this card I made just before this. Same exact process, same exact stamp set, Inspired Thoughts stamp set. This one that's in the stages of being complete. And I'm going to probably use this one here, this butterfly I cut out earlier, for that one there. And then I'll use a bigger sentiment. I'll probably do something like that, right? Then I'll then I have room for a giant sentiment there. And maybe I'll share a picture of that later. Or I could use this one here, but then it's too much magenta, right? Maybe, yeah, I think I'll use this one. Okay, so then I'll finish that card, and I'll put that one on a Blackberry Bliss background, like this one. See, I think that would look nice on a Blackberry Bliss background, because this is going to pull out the Blackberry Bliss from the background. In fact, I think what would look nice behind it is a little layer of Mango Melody. Okay, so this one, a little layer of Mango Melody behind there, just so you can see where I'm going with this, and then I'm going to move on to the next project. See what I mean? Do this 1/8 of an inch, just 1/8 of an inch border like that, and stick that on there. Now, look at how that'll pop. Okay, something like that. You'll see it when I finish this card, and I'll take a picture of it. So you want a little 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, so now we have time to do a tag treat, because we're not going to do any adhesive on that. So to make a tag treat, you could still use the same butterfly techniques and the things we cut out, right? Because my tag treat has the same kind of beautiful butterflies to decorate with. What I'm going to do is just clean up my little scoreboard, and I'm going to show you how to make a tag treat, which I've been trying to show now for 4 videos. But we made other 3D treats. We had fun making other 3D treats. I showed them to my sister when she was visiting. I've been showing them to everybody how to make these. I've done them on my Facebook page. I did it on Instagram. I did it on this Butterfly Bootcamp. I have been addicted to making those other kinds of 3D treats, which I'll show in a little bit at the end of this video. So what you want to do is take a piece of, this is a Bermuda Bay, or any piece of cardstock. It really doesn't matter. Take a piece of Bermuda Bay, and let's go ahead and make it, the length that we're going to make it, right? We can make a lot more if we go this way. Let's go ahead and make this as long as we need it so that we can make a lot of tag treats at once. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make it the length we need it. So we're going to cut this piece. We're going to take this 8.5 by 11 piece, and we're going to cut this 6.75. Now you had to open up the arm, and we're going to make it 6.75. And save this piece for something else. You can even make smaller tag treats out of it. 6.75. Okay. Now we'll get back to this in a minute. We're going to use that in a minute. So we're going to just leave it lay there, and we want to find that simply. It went on the floor here. This is such a simple thing to make. This tag treat. It's still 6.75, right? But we got this whole 11 inches. Check this out. You're going to go to 3. Okay, you're going to 3, scoring all along in the 3 inch, and you're scoring all along the 3.75 inch. Okay, I'm going to hold this up so you can see what I just did. I scored at 3, and I scored at 3.75 inches. Now why? Because now we have 3 inches, and we have 3 inches. Make sense? We have 3 inches on both sides. Take your paper trimmer again, and we're going to go ahead and take this whole paper. See how it's the long way? We're going to turn it sideways. Turn it sideways, and just go ahead and cut 2 inches everywhere. They're already scored for you, so you made a bunch at once. This is how I actually do it. I make a lot of these at once, 2 inches, because that's how I roll. Lots of tag treats. I'll make them all later. I'll take pictures. I'll probably put some of these adhesive butterflies all over them, or maybe I'll cut out some metallic butterflies. I'll just put a bunch of butterflies on them when I'm done. I'm not even sure what sentiment they're going to have yet. Maybe peace, love, and joy, because I love that, and it's timeless, not just for holidays, but peace, love, and joy kind of always fits on there as a sentiment. Or just maybe this hello, because it's small and it won't take away from my cute little butterflies. I might just put them hellos on there. We'll see. Not sure what the sentiment will be yet. But anyway, there we are. See how I just made 5, and I have this little strip. Save this anyway. It's just, you can make a tiny tag treat out of it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you bought my Tic Tac treat kits before, you know that I sent you some of these to make your own tag treats for the holidays. Now what we're going to do is take a punch, and we're going to punch these out. Okay? It's called the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. Any tag punch will do. We sell scallop tag topper punches. I'm not sure what all retired, but we have other punches, I'm pretty sure, and they're all 2 inches wide. So there you go. I'm going to open it up. See, I'm just going to open it up like that, and I'm just going to punch. And that's how you make the tag treat. Now we need something around the sides too. So just put those in. Don't try to do 2 at once. I'm putting my little rubber mat down here. Whenever I punch, I like to use my little rubber mat. It's called a silicone craft sheet because it just helps me. That's it. That's pretty much the gist of your tag treat. And now we need a little wrap around it, and that's how I make them. I make them all the time for every paper pumpkin kit that I get. I'm just always, let's see if it's giving me a hard time because it means I didn't cut it exactly. It should slip in there easily, but one at a time. I mean, if you were doing this out of, yeah, it still fits. Designer series paper, make sure it's in there. Then you could cut 2 at a time for designer series paper, but not cardstock. Cardstock only 1 at a time. designer series paper is thinner, but the problem is I don't recommend making these with designer series paper. You can also just punch it up in the air. You don't even need to push it on a table. Tables just give you more leverage. I do not recommend using designer series papers for these tag treats because if you do, the paper rips. And it's just the way it is. So you really need cardstock because you're going to be putting ribbons on those. So there you go. And now I'll show you how to make the wrap. And then that'll be a wrap. So you could either use cardstock or let's look at go into your bucket of crafty goodness. Or go into your kit, I should say, the Butterfly Kit, where I gave you some of this paper. Pattern Party Designer Series paper. And I'm just seeing what would look cute. That one. I'm thinking that one will look cute. Okay, so take out I'm pretty much, you can't go wrong with the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. It just kind of goes with everything. Take out a piece of that, and what you want now, and you can also do a bunch of these at once, but you want them to be, they're going to be 6 inches. So go ahead and make, I already gave you 6-inch pieces, so that part's, you're already good to go with that. You already have 6-inch pieces. In fact, yours is 6 by 6. So let's just kind of go with that. Okay. Oh, it's a little crooked because, hold on, I didn't have my arm shut, and so my paper's crooked. Okay, let's see. See how my paper's crooked? My arm wasn't shut. Make sure that this ledge only helps you if your arm is shut, meaning this is the arm, if it's shut all the way. If your arm's not shut all the way, you get wonky cuts, right? Wonky cuts. Not a good thing. So we're going to shut that all the way. And oops, we need the paper to be, I don't know what's going on with this paper. Let's try this piece. Is this one as wonky? Yeah. Nope, the other one's bigger. So we have to go with the bigger wonky one. I'm just going to kind of go with the piece I gave you, which is 6 by 6. Now this should be, oh, I see what happened. You must be like, boy, you treat your craft stuff like really bad. But it still keeps working for me. I don't know how. I don't know how my craft stuff keeps working for me. Okay, let's just go with this. I'm going to go with the 6 by 6 piece to start with because that's what you all have. Then we're just going to cut all the little strips we need from that. There we go. Whew. Okay, now we have a 6 by 6 piece, which you have started with. Now we're going to take, all we need now is we need 3/4 of an inch for these wraps. So let's just take 3, we'll go with 3. We'll put that on top of each other, 3 by 6, and now we'll go with 1.5. You can cut through a bunch of this at once. Okay, 1.5, and then we'll take the 1.5 and we'll go with 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so you can at least cut through 2 at once. You probably could have cut through all 4 at once. Get it under. Oh, if you think it's going to slip, another tip and trick. Okay, by the way, it does slip, and because you can't really see it under there. So what you want to do is, this is what I do. You don't put the tape under where the blade's going, but sometimes I just put a little bit of painter's tape there. See how it slipped, but it was okay. It slipped, but it's okay because I had the painter's tape. There you go. So there we go. Now we have all our little wraps. I might have needed one more. But there you go. So now you just want to stick those there. I probably could have scored them all at once, but I think this was just easier. I mean, I could have scored them and then cut them, but let's just now go about, I'm going to show you how to how to score them so they wrap around this for this tag treat. Okay, so what we're trying to do, I just want to give you the big picture, because when I teach something, I want you to understand why you're doing something, not just how to do it. So then you're going to understand why I'm scoring, where I'm scoring. We need a wrap around this. We need to wrap this tag treat. Otherwise, the candy's going to fall right out. So we're trying to make this. There's a little bow there. Okay, we're trying to make this, and it needs to wrap around. So you're going to need, think about it, right? You need to score. You need to go 2 inches, right? 2 inches across, because remember, I told you everything in this punch is 2 inches, right? Then you're going to need the 3/4 of an inch on the sides. Then you're going to need another 2 inches across, and another 3/4 of an inch around the sides. Then you're going to need some little flap to glue. So that's the big picture. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't even need to ever look this up again because I've made this so much, but also because I know the big picture. So you never need to look up your measurements if you know the big picture. you know that when you made this, it's 2 inches, right? Because you cut the paper yourself. So this is 2 inches I'm scoring at. Now I'm scoring at 2.75. Okay, 2.75. You can score all 4 at once. Now I'm going to score at, okay, so do you see what I'm doing? That was the 2 inches across. Now we got the 0.7, now we're doing the 3/4 of an inch, right? Now I'm at 2.75. You should be guessing. You should be going, okay, I need 2 more inches, right? Because this is wrapping around. I need 2 more inches. So what do I need? 4.75, right? So it's 2.75. Now I'm going to 4.75. 4.75. I'll just do those in a second, just so you can see. And now I need to go to 5.5 because 5.5 is 3/4 of an inch up. I'll do this. I'll fold it around, then I'll do the others because they're kind of slipping. So see, we're making a wrap. That's a wrap. See? I told you the boot camp, you have to do everything yourself. I just give you the paper and you have to do all the cutting and scoring yourself. I'm not cutting and scoring things for you, so you can really learn how to do it yourself. And that's it. We're going to glue that little flap. You can use glue or rolling adhesive. So just make it flat when you glue it. And I'll score the others too real quick. We're just going to get your little piece of, or your little bit of Seal Plus or glue. And you're going to glue that little 1/2 inch flap. That's all that's left. So we used, this is 6 by 3/4 of an inch. And if you're using regular glue, it's better to, if you're using regular glue, flatten it out and push it. But if you're using Seal Plus, you can do that. So that's your little wrap. And I'm just going to score those while you're looking at what I'm doing, hopefully, or while you're trying this yourself. I'm just going to do the rest because they're halfway. I don't want to leave this halfway done. Like, why aren't the rest scored? 2.75, now I'm going to 4.75. And then to 5.5. Okay, I think it's easier to do one at a time. 4.75 is already done, so we're going to do 5.5. Okay, 2.75, 4.75, 5.5. I have this written so many times because I've done this on my YouTube channel in the past, so I have it written many times. So I will copy and paste those instructions and put them in there. So we have the little wrap. We made a wrap. We do this. We fold along the score lines. We either use glue or Seal Plus. We do this. And now we adhere that shut. Okay, so now I would call this is going to be the back. Do you see what I mean? Because the little flap, you see that little flap? It's hiding back there. It's no big deal, but I'm still calling that the back. That's the back of my treat. So let's stand that there for a moment. Showing you this one again. This is the back. See, that's the back. Doesn't matter if you do it like that or like that. It's still the back because that's where the flap is. Okay, we're putting that like that. Now you're going to take your tag treat and you're going to lay it down. And you're going to put adhesive here and here. Not on the bottom, right? Not on the bottom. Just here and here. Here and here. You can't put it too far up because remember your flap is only, it's only this tall. It's only 0.75, so you can't put it that tall up. Stand this up. Stand your tag treat up and push this down. Push it down. Put your fingers in there. Put your fingers in there. Flip it around. And like I said, that's the back because that's where the seal is. So that's how to make your tag treat. Now we're going to do the other one. Find another one. That's why we can make a bunch of these at once. Adhesive, adhesive, stand up, push down, put your fingers in there, and that's the back of it. Right, is that the back? Yep, that's the back because that's where the seal is. Okay, Kim is not attempting the darn whatever that was with the fiasco with the embossing machine again, but I will use one of my buckets of crafty goodness, and this You're the Best because I already have this made. And this is from the Butterfly Bijou paper, the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper, and the classic label punch. And this is already made, and this was the blending technique I showed last time. So I do need to grab my dimensionals. 1 second. I have like usually more organization, but this isn't my normal craft room. This is like this is called the craft room on the go. so I don't have everything in the same place. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking dimensionals, and I just want to finish this part of it. And I did the blender pen technique when this here. That's what we learned how to do that in the last couple of videos when we assembled some cards that I'll show you if you missed it. I'll kind of review what we did in the whole Butterfly Bootcamp series in just a moment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold these both up and not figure out where to put them, right? You don't want them interfering with each other. So before you adhere your sentiments and your butterfly, your sentiment and your butterfly, kind of see where they're going to go. So let's see, I could do something across the middle. That would look cute. Maybe like that. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it. So you just kind of have to see where you're going to put it before you drop it down there, and make sure it doesn't, that you have room for your butterfly and your sentiment. I'm going to tilt that at an angle, and then I'm going to add maybe 3 little embellishments. Not only 1 butterfly for the tag treat, but 3 little embellishments, meaning metallic pearls, opal rounds, something. And that has Wink Castella on it too, so it's a little shiny. And then get your little twine. Oh, this is Blackberry Bliss twine. Maybe I need some Granny Apple Green twine, or any kind of twine. And it doesn't have to be twine, it can be ribbon. Or actually I'll just use this this twine from it's called Baker's Twine Essentials. And there's black, and there's this brown. Here, there's black, and there's these are neutral colors. Everything in here is neutral, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about if anything matches, because when you use Baker's Twine Essentials, right, everything matches. Because neutral colors, everything matches. That's how much. I don't know how much that was. Let's see. I can tell you. At least about a foot. Okay? That's about a foot. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take, what I like to do is I sort of like to tie a knot. First I like to sort of make a loop through, and then I tie a knot, and then I tie a bow. But you could also use ribbon, and you'll see how I make these in various ways. So I'm going to loop these through, and I'm going to now, I tie a knot because it's twine. I tie a knot, but I don't have to tie a knot if it's ribbon. And glittered organdy ribbon works really well on these, and organdy ribbons in general, because they tie really well, work good. But sometimes ribbons slip apart, so I just tie a knot before I tie my bow. And there we go. And that's how to do a tag treat. So this is Bootcamp project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bootcamp project. We're on part 5, and now we have done 5 projects. I'll show you what they are. If you're new to the Bootcamp series, you can find out now what we did for the whole Bootcamp series so far. I have them all here on this little tiny table. And I can show you another project, something I did with the paper pumpkin kit that's related, and what we're going to be doing in the next video. So let me first, before I wrap up, I wanted to, and while I'm talking, I just want to show you what can fit in there, because I get asked all the time, what do you put in there? You can fit, this is the kind, just so you can kind of an idea of what size this is. You can fit little treats in there. See, I put 2 little chocolates in there. So you could put little mini Mentos in there. You could put a couple Hershey Nuggets in there. It's just a great little treat holder for any occasion. All right, now, let me go back and let me see who came in so I can say hello. And then, oh, wow, look at all the votes. I love when you guys participate. I should ask questions more often. So many people voted for Bermuda Bay, so I guess that's more of a fun color. That's more like that's a color I like better, too. Bermuda Bay rather than Blackberry Bliss, so a lot more votes for that. That one. Okay, so we have, I don't know why I'm stopping to tie a darn knot, because I see something unfinished or that came undone. And this one, by the way, this one was a kit that's retiring like today. It's retiring today, this kit. I've already bought 3 of them. No, 4, maybe 5. I've given a couple as prizes, but I have 3 still. I'm thinking maybe before midnight I'll get another kit. It's called the You Are Amazing Project Kit. That's where this little paper came from. I made that out of a card. All right, so, and when I say retiring, it's because our one catalog is retiring. Let's not digress. I wanted to go say hi to who is here. So we have Dee, Okay, D was the one. She said Sarah from Stampin' Up. I was calling you Sarah. You were telling me about Sarah from Stampin' Up. Yes, she was saying that to put the plates in unevenly, and that's what I was trying to do. So D was talking about Sarah. She was the CEO of our company. So hi, D. And thank you for that comment and suggestion. I always try to make take suggestions. And Libula60. And hi, Linda. And Barbara voted. Thank you for voting. And Yvonne voted. Hello, Sandy caught me. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Diane. Another papered chef. And Daisy likes blackberry. Oh, but then she voted for, you can't vote twice. You voted for both colors, Daisy. Carmen. Hello, Carmen. And Lindsay and Deborah and Patty. All right, so thank you all for coming today. This is awesome. What I want to show you is this bootcamp series, what it's about, and even if you've been here before, just be a review. So we started out the bootcamp series a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And in part 1, I showed you how to use what's called a background stamp, which is one of the stamps required for this bootcamp series. That's the bundle that we're using, that the whole series is based on. And in the first video, in part 1, I showed you how to use the background stamp. We stamped using cherry cobbler ink onto petal pink cardstock. I then showed you right away using the big machine that works a lot better, that I don't have with me, the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's a very heavy machine, heavy duty. I then showed you how to emboss the background, how to emboss that petal pink background. So that was part 1. That's all we did in part 1. Part 2, this is Pool Party cardstock. In part 2, I showed you how to make these cards. You just reviewed that again, how to make cards from start to finish. This is Pool Party cardstock. I showed you how to use the Pool Party cardstock and how to layer the cards. We wrapped linen twine around here. We used Pool Party sheer ribbon. We used the square vellum doilies that are in your kit. We colored these flowers with the Stampin' Blends, alcohol markers. The flowers were in your kit. That's these little flowers I got from something that retired now, but you all got at least one flower in your kit. I showed you how to color those flowers, how to adhere them, wrap the twine, wrap the ribbon, do the stamping in cherry cobbler onto very vanilla, die cut the sentiment, and we did thank you, we did cherish the happy moment, or whatever. We did all kinds of, no, I think we did this one. We worked with the Inspired Thoughts bundle. So that was part 2. I showed you how to do these cards start to finish in 2 videos. Took 2 hours. We did it intensely with all the steps, not missing any steps. That was parts 1 and 2 of the Butterfly Bootcamp series. Then part 3 of the Butterfly Bootcamp series, I showed you how to use the blender pens to color these butterflies, and I colored these live. This is Granny Apple Green. We did some Misty Moonlight there. This is Misty Moonlight. We used Pattern Party Designer Series paper. That was part 3. I showed you how to use stamping. They're called blender pens, not Stampin' Blends, not alcohol markers. Blender pens turn any of your stamp pads into markers. Blender pens work well with just any stamps whatsoever. You can just use the blender pens, and they should be laying here, but they're not close by. So that was part 3. Part 4, I showed you how to assemble these cards, start to finish. These are the Memories and More cards. These cards are larger than your regular cards. These came in your packet. These are 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and so therefore the cards are 4 by 6. I even used the blender pens for these. So we made a couple of these thank you cards. That was in part 4. Also in part 4, which was super fun, we made these. Lots and lots of these, and I did these on Facebook as well. And I did these on a shorter version of a video. I did it on Instagram to like a really fast, like a minute-long time-lapse video. I showed you how to do what's called the 3D treat holder. And these are what I showed you how to make. So if you missed part 4, that's where you're going to learn how to make these in part 4. I kept wanting to show this, but I didn't get to it until part 5, which we just did. So that was part 4. I just love these. I have so many of these. They were inspired by, I'm just going to get these up. There's just so many. I've even given some away. I've shown people how to use them. They were inspired by my friend Sandra, who gave me this one. Then I learned how to use those. That's how I learned how to make those. That was part 4. Part 5, you know what we just did in part 5. I can't believe the cards are already like missing in action. The cards we just made in part 5. But you learned, here they are. Here we go. This is what we just did in part 5, using the adhesive sheets and how to make tag treats. Okay, so part 6 is coming up Next, I'm going to show you how to start blending with blender brushes. You have a blender brush in your kit, some of you, if you got the surprise. I'm going to show you how to emboss vellum. We use blending brushes on this butterfly here, and we use blending brushes on this vellum. And you have a piece of vellum in your kit, and we're going to use blending brushes around the sides here. And you have this card. This is called Hand Pen Memories and More cards. You have this card. We're going to make this card using the supplies you have in your kit next time. And then we're going to use the blending brushes to start making backgrounds as well. So that's what's coming up in the next part of the series. And later we'll be doing embroidery hoops, but I don't have those yet, so we're not doing those yet. And just to give you an idea of what else you can do with all this beautiful kit that you have, this Butterfly Brilliance Kit, where you have these butterflies that you can cut out and use for absolutely everything. Make yourself a bucket of crafty goodness with all kinds of little butterflies in them, because when you color them with coordinating colors for your different projects, you can decorate other projects with the same techniques that I teach you. So for example, when I taught the blender pen tool in part 3, that was part 3 where I showed you how to color butterflies, I went ahead and colored butterflies using different colors that went with this last paper pumpkin kit called Expressions in Color. And the coordinating colors were Bumblebee, there is Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, which is sort of the purplish one, and Polished Pink. Those 4 colors, I used the blender pens to color butterflies using those 4 colors, and came up with these projects using the bundle that we've been working with in the series. So everything you're learning is a skill that you can apply to all of your other crafting projects. So these are just some ideas of what you can do with those skills. And not only that, you can make, obviously, the 3D projects, like you just take a butterfly and you put it on anything, and it makes your 3D projects look better. I mean, that's just cut out a butterfly. Use the blender pen to color the butterfly. Just take a white butterfly. This is a white butterfly. And just cut it out with white cardstock, and then just use the blender pens and color it to match whatever project you're working on at the time. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this installment of Butterfly Brilliance Bootcamp, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great rest of the week.